Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
I don't like it.
Is it because of the...
Jay, I look at Mike, it's like, I look at him different.
Floyd Mayweather recently shared his observations into the clash between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, delivering a summary that attracted fans and commentators alike.
Is he someone you're interested in or no?
Well, you know, if you go back, you got to do your homework, look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition. But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Meantime, Mike Tyson has just given a scary warning to Jake Paul. Tyson fires off yet another message on Snapchat. There was a close-up photograph of him with perspiration all over his face with the words, "Everyone has a plan," until the start of Tyson's iconic line about strategy going out of the window and hit square in the face. Secondly, Tyson tweeted another image of him hitting the pads with the words, "All eyes on me." Tyson's coach Rafael Cordo feels the bout will be tactical as opposed to a carnage, and that Paul will feel iron Mike's big fists. He said this fight won't be a bloodbath, it's going to be a really technical contest because we have a child on the other side who can box and isn't frightened. Cordo further remarked that Paul would panic during the battle, and this is what Tyson actually craves. He said Mike has such hefty hands that it will be tough not to touch Jake. Jake will feel Mike's hands. There's no other way, and that's when we'll get an idea on how the battle will proceed. Jake Paul has boldly threatened to strike against Mike Tyson by providing a taste of his own medicine in their forthcoming encounter. He declared, "I'm going to bite your ear off." Mikey Tyson, famously disqualified for biting a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear in a moment etched in boxing history, faces Paul, who humorously references this iconic incident in a pre-fight message to his opponent. In another interview, Paul said, "I think people are underestimating me being able to deal with his power, and that's something that's going to make it interesting. I am biting off a lot. This is definitely the toughest, most savage, lethal opponent, regardless of age, because power is the last thing to go." However, Paul has been heavily criticized by fans for his recent remarks, commenting on Paul's recent training footage. This fan said, "My grandma hits harder than that." Another added, "Mike will peel your skin like how you peel your banana at boxing." And this fan said, "Literally, you being at prime age, I can see your hand movements are so clearly, and you say you beat Mike now." We know that the Paul brothers and Floyd Mayweather have found themselves in a constant clash. Their rivalry ignited with the inaugural bout between Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather back in 2021. During the previous year, a tense altercation nearly erupted between Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather outside the arena while they attended the Miami Heat versus Cleveland Cavaliers game.
Who you supposed to be?
I'm just working, man.
What happened? You're not tough anymore since your loss? What happened since your loss? Yo, we gonna bust him up, guys?
I told you before, put that.
Yo, let's bust him up. Where you running, Jake? Where you going since your fight? Since you lost? What's up, Jake? Where you going, Jake? Oh, he's running! He's running! Look!
Logan Paul made a recent visit on the In Depth with Graham Bensinger program, releasing a startling disclosure concerning Mayweather's lasting grudge against Jake Paul. Reportedly, Mayweather still harbors great resentment against Jake. Logan Paul indicated Jake hasn't been without a security guard since that time Floyd has thugs who'd murder a guy for $200. If you haven't seen it before, here is another video of a dispute between Jake and Floyd when Paul stole a hat from Floyd.
What's up? You want to run a 2-on-1 night?
Absolutely.
You want to run a 2-on-1 night?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Heyman.
Absolutely. I don't need Al Heyman.
Let me call Al Heyman.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss.
2-on-1 night. Got your hat.
During discussing the iconic hat theft incident, Logan mentioned that Jake had told him of his plan earlier, but he hadn't thought Jake would really go through with it. Logan stated, "Jake informed me he was going to do it. I didn't believe he was going to do it. He did it. And I felt like Jake had placed me in jeopardy when the incident happened." Logan felt that Jake's action had put him at risk. He considered the potential consequences, especially just a month before what he described as the biggest moment of his life. Logan added, "If I break my hand, or get a concussion, or gated up by Floyd's guys a month before the biggest moment of my life trying to save my little brothers, that's stupid." Meanwhile, Mike Tyson boldly fought every challenger during his long time as a professional boxer, participating in epic battles against the top people of his period. In an honest debate with Steve Farwood on Showbox Iron, Mike was presented the question of his ultimate fantasy opponent throughout all ages. Without hesitation, Mike Tyson chose out Floyd Mayweather as his ideal foe. Tyson responded, "Yeah, I would love to have fought him. I wish he was my weight. We can never fight, of course, because of the weight difference, but I wouldn't fight him the way they fought him." Farwood chuckled appreciatively, remarking his admiration for the response as the ex-world heavyweight champion delved into the intriguing aspects of why a bout with Mayweather would have been captivating, but Tyson believes he'd have known exactly how to deal with Mayweather. He added, "I would be mean, I would be dirty, because you'd have to do everything to fight him, because he's just so good you can't. It's practically impossible to fight him clean. It's just so hard to defeat him. I don't care, it's extremely hard to beat him the way he deploys. It's incredibly tough to beat him in that specific style." Yet in another case, Tyson remembered a point when Mayweather had compared himself to Muhammad Ali, even claiming to be better, a thought Tyson vehemently disagreed with. He blasted Mayweather, further pulling apart that argument. Tyson labeled Mayweather as incredibly deluded.
He's very delusional. He can't listen. If he was anywhere near that realm of great Ali, he'd be able to take his to school by himself. Okay, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he's talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He can't take his kids alone to school by himself.
Now getting back to the Tyson against Paul battle, Roy Jones Jr., a celebrated figure in the boxing world, who once shared the ring with Tyson in a 2020 exhibition match, articulated his belief in Tyson's potential to triumph against Paul. He said, "When I boxed him, he still punched like Mike Tyson. If he hits anybody square on the chin, it's going to be problematic. I don't care who it is. I like Jake Paul. He's a good guy, and he's doing good with his boxing stuff." Highlighting that iron still possessed his famed striking power into the ring, Jones used his own bout against Tyson to illustrate his point. He reasoned that anyone taking such hits would have problems, even a much younger opponent like Paul. Jones further added, "I believe it's a terrific promotional position for him and Mike. They should generate very high numbers, particularly having upgraded to an actual fight. Tyson's age and lack of activity have led many to doubt this bout. It's common knowledge that Paul avoids taking on more traditional opponents, and it appears that he will continue with this pattern." The multiple world champion believes Tyson is putting himself in danger by taking on Paul, a 30-year-old former YouTuber who is now a boxer. Hopkins disagrees with Tyson fighting Paul because he views Tyson as a legend, one of the best boxers ever, and someone who deserves enormous respect. In Bernard Hopkins' eyes, this isn't exactly the most exciting fight he could hope to see. He said, "I could watch two turtles run and I'd be more excited. I don't like it. I don't like it. I look at Mike, I'd look at him differently from the way I did in my day, the way people looked at Ali. I looked at Ali differently too." Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Robinson Hopkins, voiced his displeasure, calling the scenario as rapidly becoming more of a circus, complete with some sweat and, if lucky, some blood. He firmly indicated that he wouldn't watch it, noting that seeing two turtles race would be more fascinating for him.
I don't like it. I think it's become more of a sideshow with some sweat, maybe some blood, if we're lucky. I won't watch it. No, I can watch two turtles race and be more excited.
Hopkins thought that the present circumstance reduces Tyson's legacy, noting that although Tyson could make a substantial amount of money from these events, it does not connect with the dignity of his former exploits and stature in the sport. Hopkins further remarked, "It's because of how I look at Mike Tyson. I've shared not just the ring with Mike Tyson multiple times, but also the period, a little tip of the cap to the era. I simply believe it demeans him. He'll get 100 million, 200 million, please. That's okay." Star in combat sports called out Jake Paul prior to his summer boxing battle against the famous Mike Tyson in response to a question about his ideal opponent for a bare-knuckle battle. Mike Perry mentioned popular YouTuber Jake Paul without hesitation, even as he issued a warning over his matchup with Tyson. Perry said, "Jake Paul guy, if he harms Mike Tyson, bro, let me get that, bro." Perry was one of Paul's sparring partners ahead to his 2021 bout against Ben Askren. As revealed by TMZ, Perry is a huge fan of Tyson, though, which explains why he would want to get revenge on the 57-year-old. if he is injured according to reports. He further added, he is not doing bare knuckle, but I wouldn't put it past Jake Paul because he's been doing stuff that people would say he's afraid of and things like that. That's partly what drew me to bare knuckle, was that so many were worried about it or afraid of it. Perry voiced his opinions, openly accepting the authenticity of the challenge. He personally called out Jake, presenting a challenge and challenging him to show himself in a more true test of talent by requesting a street battle should Jake prevail over Tyson. Perry went on to "I'm like that feels genuine to me, so Jake guy absolutely giving you a challenge. If you go past Mike Tyson, test yourself for real and let's have a street fight, Jake. He's got some talent." Moreover, Perry dismissed Jake's abilities with a mix of recognition for his talent and skepticism of his achievements, comparing them to defeating unskilled opponents. He added, "But I'd like to say, I'm beating him as fast as he's beating these taxi drivers, especially bare knuckle. I'll hurt him and he'll cry and run away and cower in the corner in the fetal position, regardless of outcomes." This impending battle illustrates the shifting nature of combat sports, where entertainment, legacy, and the quest of excellence interact in intricate and sometimes contentious ways. So that's it from today's video. If you liked it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell symbol so you never miss our next videos.